Alright, YouTube, welcome again to another video. For this video, I'm going to go through with you guys all the issues with my car as soon as I got it from the dealership. So, as you already know, the car, I got it for a good deal, a very good deal, and there's a reason for that. So, like I mentioned earlier in our previous video, there is no such thing as a cheap Ferrari because it's cheap up front, but you're gonna end up paying in some other way. So unless you're buying it from like a trusted family member that just wants to give you a deal, or that a friend that just likes you and just gonna give you a good deal, other outside of those things, and if you're buying on a market, a free market like that, you're not gonna get a good deal on any of these cars because the only way that they're gonna sell it to you for cheap is if they're hiding issues with the car and did not disclose it to you. But since I bought my car used and I already knew what I was getting into when I looked at the car, I went there and I looked at it, I drove it. I already knew what I was gonna get into, so I already have like a budget in mind in terms of repairs. So it made sense to me to buy the car even though it had issues. No, it doesn't leak or anything like that. Nothing's like clearly broken, but it's just a lot of miscellaneous things all around that ultimately becomes a big thing. So let's start with some of these things are incidental. So there's a leak in the rear main seal of the car. So they went in there. They might as well replace the clutch. So I got the clutch replaced, brand new clutch. Throwout bearing comes with that. Rear main seal replaced. Because you have to drop the transmission, you have to drain the oil too. So all that happens at the same time. So 9 quarts of oil was done. Oil filter change. Two of the motor mounts were broken, pretty much disintegrated or something like that, and so that was replaced. Spark plugs, all 8 of them was replaced. Um, Front and rear brake pads also replaced. Two axle boots on the rear are leaking, so they were replaced as well. I got some rotors. I got a remanufactured, not remanufactured. It's like it's a very good use set. So it's a low life, not low life, low usage rotors all around. I bought it from my mechanic. He had it laying around there, so I got it at a good deal. It's not brand new, so brand new would be more expensive. So I got those used. So I got 4 new rotors. Transmission mount was also not in good health, so that was replaced as well. There is some issue with the bolt that's holding the one of the header, so that was replaced as well. Just custom work there. And a left sway bar link was broken, so that was replaced. F1 fluid transmission and everything else was also flushed, and so all the fluids in this car is great. It's brand new, and in terms of service, it's great. It's pretty much I set a good baseline on it, so everything is done, along with those other mechanical stuff. So labor for all those is a couple thousands each. So all that. So basically, in parts alone, I spent $7,321.90, and that's not the same for every shop. This shop, Roselli's, they're so fair with pricing, and also some of these parts they had it on hand already that they didn't have to order. So some of these parts I got a good deal on because they just wanted to you know get it out there because it's been sitting in their inventory. So I got it at a good deal along with the repair. In terms of what do you call this? In terms of labor, they're very fair with their rates as well. So along with the other ones, so 7,321 in parts. I had to do a inspection, which is smog for California, $80. VIN verification because it's an out-of-state car. I had to pay the DMV to do a VIN verification for me, which is $50. And I had to replace the two the headers, exhaust manifolds in there because for this car they crack over time, and this car has 50,000 miles, so I had to replace those as well. Oh, one of my rims had a bend on it, so it was also not this one, the other side. It had a bend on it, so when you're driving, you don't really notice it that much, but when you see it, it's bent on the lip, this area here. So I had to get that corrected. It was $250. So 7,321 plus the 2180. So that's basically just so far the cost, and you add all the labor to that, which is $6,285 of labor. It comes down to with taxes and everything else, $16,482. So there you go. This is the heaviest bill I've ever gotten on any car. But so the car, yeah, the car, you don't pay up front, but you pay in some other way. So if you didn't plan for that, then definitely this a dream car of yours would be a nightmare. But good thing, because this was out of state. I flew there. I looked at the car. I already knew what I was getting into. I mean, it would be nice to not spend that money, but so if you imagine you have to buy the car at market value. I didn't buy this car at market value, that's the point of it. So if I bought this car at market value and still had some issues, then I would have been out money, some like more money. But in this case, I was already in the black so much that I have some room to spend more money. So it is what it is. It's the cost of realizing your dream, and I could easily spend maybe 115,000 for a cherry pristine car that's only has 2,000 miles on it. But I plan to drive the car, so I plan to maybe someday track the car. So cars that are low mileage, they're not automatically going to be bulletproof, because they haven't been ridden or run around. The engine hasn't been running a lot. That some of the seals get cracked, or they disintegrate over time because they're not lubricated. So you know those things. I mean, on any car, motorcycles, things like that, they're the same thing. You have to ride these things. You have to drive these things. It's not a good thing that you just let them park. It's not good for their health. So anyway, so I just want to give you guys a snapshot of what I dealt with in terms of um, financial challenges to get this car. So like I said, the car was at the shop for about 3 to 4 weeks because of all those things getting addressed. So the only thing that was addressed was mechanical. So basically, mechanically, the car is sound and it's perfect. It drives so smooth. It drives like it's a low mileage car. I mean, I wouldn't know the difference really. This is my only exotic car experience. But I'll be tackling the cosmetics, I guess, in the next stages of this, because if I really care to, I mean, other than this electrical tape holding the side mirror, that everything else seems to be great. I mean, even the full front of this car has PPF, paint protection film, all the way to the whole front clip of the car has paint protection film. So it's like like I have to assess if any there's not even any rock chips, I guess, that I can see, but there are scrapes on the bottom of it, because if you just drive it on the regular street, you'll just scrape it. You have no, it will never, you can never avoid that. So yep. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something there if you're looking for your next exotic car, or your first one. Just keep in mind that there's these hidden costs there, and it's just that it is what it is. Like, you don't trust your gut. Like, I almost did not buy this car, but I made some calculations. It made sense, and then that's how I ended up with it here now. So, oh, and guys, before I forget, so the 16,005, almost $16,500 repair at 50,000 miles, it sounds like a very high price. But if you own the car, because I did some research on this, I looked at the other owners. I asked them, and how much have they been spending over the years of the car if they own the car for more than 3 years. If you own this car for low miles and you actually drive it and incrementally service it, actually they've spent more than I did, in terms of, because right now I did all the cost up front, 16,500, fix everything, right? But the ones that did own it for more than 3 years or so spent over $20,000 over the life of the car in terms of repair and services. So I think I got out of it very, very cheap. 20,000, they're spending upwards of $20,000, and I only spent 16.5, and the car is perfect already. So I I know it's heavy right now because off the bat, you pay it. So it just sucks. But I just gotta say that it's a disclaimer that it sounds a lot right now, but if you get a low mileage car, drive it regularly, and start to find issues as you go along, if you add it all up, the average is about the same, $16,000 to $20,000. So there you go. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video.